Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today we're going to be talking about Banana Kiss by Bonnie Rosowski, and this is a Porcupine Quill press book. Now, I was sent this for review by the publisher. I did request it. I'm so glad that I did. The company themselves is very kind, very good. The publishing quality is beautiful, phenomenal, and I am so excited to have two of these books now in my possession and will continue to purchase from them in the future as I loved everything I have read. This book is a story about a young girl named Robin. She is institutionalized in a psychiatric ward as she is schizophrenic. She has struggles at home with her family as she had a relationship with a man before she became, or before her schizophrenia took over. The man, instead of knowing what to do, decided he no longer loved her and is now marrying her sister. Her mother is she tries to be as supportive as she can, but she's definitely uncomfortable with the fact that her daughter is schizophrenic. However, it's very clear that she's also uncomfortable with it because her husband and Robin's father killed himself when Robin was very young due to the same illness. Her mother is now remarried and is with a man who I really don't like. Her stepfather. I find him condescending and rude and completely unnecessary. I don't think he's an unnecessary character because he is definitely a valid thought on how people can be treated with mental illness. He very frequently tells Robin how she should be living at home instead of in the psychiatric ward because she is costing them money. He constantly berates her about how she hasn't taken her medication, which is unfair. Robin is of the belief that she wants to not take her medication because she does not want to lose her voices or her mindset that she has, which I can understand completely. She goes numb or feels numb whenever she takes her medications, so she spits them out in the toilet, but she still acts violently and frighteningly towards the white coats or doctors because she does not understand. And Robin has a very sweet relationship with a young man named Derek. He is manic depressive, and they have a interesting relationship because they are both very up and down and all over the place. Derek is very much in love with her, and she struggles very much to find love again after Max, who is the man who completely, the plain and simple, Max left her, and he completely obliterated her trust in men, and it was already touch and go there because of her father killing himself, and her father has now become one of the voices within her head, and even then he comes and goes from her head and tells her goodbye and things of that nature. It's really messed up how she believes that men just leave her, and her trust is very, very scarce with them, and it's very sad. And Derek really wants to break down that barrier and to love her and to give her attention and love and affection, but it's very hard for him because of his manic depression as well, as sometimes he's completely numb and doesn't know how to express any emotion. This book was a 5-star read for me, 4.5, 5 stars. I will definitely reread it. I would recommend it to anyone who is curious about the mind of a schizophrenic. This has trigger warnings in it, I will admit. There is suicide and so on and such. And it's a very beautiful book, though. The writing is phenomenal. The ideas and the images are beautiful, and you can definitely see inside of her mind and understand things that you wouldn't normally understand from a schizophrenic's point of view. The feeling of numbness kind of resonates throughout the entire book. I really felt like Robin was a character that anyone could connect with, even without schizophrenia or mental illness in general. She was a lovable character. She had some really redeeming qualities, and she actually was flawed in her own way, but the flaws were not based around her schizophrenia. They were based around her as a human. It was really, really a nice difference in feelings, because sometimes they call the mental illness the flaw of character, and that's not the case because mental illness is not a character flaw. It is a chemical imbalance or trauma or something to that effect, so therefore it is not the person's fault or their control, so why would it be a flaw? That is not a flaw. That is a characteristic, but not a flaw, and she has flaws, but those are not them. She also has very, very the depiction in here as well with the relationship of the doctor and herself, her main psychiatrist, is very well put together, as she sometimes gives him information, sometimes does not. She sometimes trusts him, sometimes does not, which is a very common situation that I have experienced myself. This is a book for anybody who has interest in schizophrenia or mental illness. It is definitely a darker depiction, so be aware of that, and it is also a lot more honest than other ones in terms of how blunt they discuss her defiance with the doctors and her family, but it's very clear if you're reading the book from Robin's perspective that the defiance is not actually her trying to make life harder for anybody involved, not even herself. It's that she doesn't want to become numb, and that is kind of something that resonates throughout the whole book. If you liked Girl Interrupted, this is going to be a good book for you as well. So that would be my review of Banana Kiss by Bonnie Wrozoski, which is a book from Porcupine Quill Publishing, a Canadian publishing company, which I requested this book for review, and I thank them again so much for giving me this. It was a beautiful read. I will continue to read and try and track down books by this author. I am super excited to continue with the publishing company, and I thank them again. I will see you guys in my next video, though. Bye!